Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Olson and today I'm going to show you how to crown mount a horned animal. This is step by step. I hope it helps. Let's get those animals off the ground. Let's get them on the wall nice and beautiful. Okay y'all, here we go. This Impala was killed in 2017 and was given to me just about a year ago. The thing I like to do first is to lay those horns against the table you're working on, and that'll act as the wall. Then you can see the positioning. I'm gonna trim off the back plate of the skull cap here a little bit so it lays nice and flat. Then I'm gonna mark out on a piece of lumber just a rough sketch of what I want my shape to look like. This part does not need to be clean and perfect. I'm literally cutting it out with a Sawzall, so rough edges is totally fine. Then I'm gonna drill through the heavy part of the horn core into that wood, which will secure everything nice and tight with a good flat back. The whole reasoning behind that board is it gives me something to screw to without cracking the mortar. So when I put the finished panel on, or when I put it up against my flat plate to shape, that board is critical. From here, I stretch shrink wrap around the base of the horn just to keep the mortar that I'm gonna mix off of that beautiful black horn. I don't really want to have to recolor because I love that original color. With that finished, I screw it off to a back plate, which gives me something to form against. Again, this is where that little wooden backboard is critical. Okay, on to the mix. This is what we get most of our questions about. This is quick setting cement and plaster of Paris, a rough 50-50 mixture, but it doesn't really matter. I put about 3 handfuls in a little tub. I mix it up till it's the consistency of like a wet clay, and then I jam it into all the open voids around that skull, and as it starts to harden, I develop my shape. I take like an old kitchen knife and I trim and press and adjust, and this just is gonna be your own style. Whatever you like, this is the critical part. I cannot teach you a shape because everybody is completely different. The beauty of this is if you don't like it, you can give it a pretty good smack with a hammer and just start over. The benefit to this product is you can sand it, you can scrape it, you can press it, you can manipulate it into anything you want. You got about 7 or 8 minutes total before it sets. The downfall is it will crack on you in certain places because there's thick spots, thin spots. So what I've done over the last few years is I just give it a big squirt of Gorilla Superglue and then paintbrush it in place. It kind of gets into the mortar, locks everything, keeps me from cracking, and then it sands to a beautiful finish. Now I know this isn't exactly the right way to do it. There's really cool 2-part foams out there, but this is my go-to because I'm super familiar with it and I love the weight that I get at the end. It's heavy and it just feels solid. The other piece I think is just a huge benefit is because of that super glue, I'm ready to start stretching leather in like 20 minutes. Moving along, this is just fast forward maybe 30 minutes. I cut off that shrink wrap and then I grab some leather to sort of test what color I like against the horn. When it comes to antlers, I like browns and tans. When it comes to horns that are typically black like antelope horns, I like blacks and grays. I also prefer the suede side because it gets rid of a lot of my imperfections. So with a quick sand across the top of that to get rid of any of the high sides, I spray it with a Gorilla Glue adhesive. It can be anybody's brand, it doesn't have to be Gorilla. And then I start to press the leather against my form. This is very much a learned process. I made lots of mistakes before I started getting this right. I wish I wouldn't have stood in front of the camera, but I just keep doing it. But you essentially cut reliefs anywhere you have to stretch around, like say the horn or when you get to the backside. And then I fire up a cordless glue gun and then I just glue everything tight across the back. Stretch, pull, stretch, pull, stretch, pull. This is deer or antelope leather and it just stretches a country mile and it is super forgiving, and you're just gonna work your way around to where you have seams that are directly behind the horn in the back.
So just cut it. There's no way around getting a seam in there. So just make your seams nice and clean across the back. Remember, you never see behind the form and you rarely see behind the horn. Now the last step before we mount our panel is we need to finish and trim out all of our edges where we cut against the horn and our seam in the back. I like to take a heavy contrast color, and I literally just cut these out with a scissor. These are about 1/4 inch wide. Make them any diameter that makes sense for that animal. And then I start at the back and I hot glue a little tiny seam around and just stretch that leather until I come back to my seam and then across my cut in the back and down the back side. And what it does is it covers up all of our cut edges and finishes the form just beautifully. With that completed, we're on to the panel. The beauty of this system is you can use any panel at any time. Take it off, put it on. I buy cheapy panels from Hobby Lobby, $2.99 a piece, and I stain them by hand in a color called Provincial. I'm collecting old deadheads I found, and I love to crown mount them because I want an old school wall somewhere that just has a bunch of old horn mounts. Anyway, you always want to make 2 holes in the panel, and I just use a generic hanger that sits on the wall. The reason for 2 holes is because when you screw it together, you don't want it to swivel or pivot, right? So one is like an anchor hole, the other keeps it from spinning. With that, your horn mount is complete.
Hey, look. Oh, my favorite critter in the whole world. Impala crown mount finished. It looks super beautiful. The whole process took like 45 minutes. And I have forever preached that get that stuff off the ground, get it out of the freezer, get it represented in your home. I hope this video will help encourage you to do it and then take you step by step on how to do a crown mount for horned animals. That's all. Thank you like always for watching. Never stop doing cool stuff and be kind to one another.